When creating a resume, don't rush it. A lot of people hate writing a resume, but it's really important. It's a marketing document promoting the product, which is you.
It's really important to make your resume clear and concise. Bullet point format is probably best, and to actually make it achievement oriented. So not just a job description of what you've done, but some of the outcomes that you've achieved that perhaps other people in the same position haven't.
The resume should contain facts from your experience that relate directly to the ad where possible. So if the client or the job ad is looking for specific skills or experiences in industries, etc., you should try to highlight those in the documents that you send through.
Make sure that the resume is tangibly meeting the criteria around the job. That means that for a lot of people, they actually have to change their resume for each job. It doesn't mean putting in false information. It just means thinking about what you've done in your past jobs and how do they actually meet the criteria required from the ad.
You should have some responsibilities, which is what your job description was all about, what you did on a day-to-day basis. But for at least the last 2 jobs to 3 jobs in your career history, include some achievements. Now, these are things that you did beyond what you were expected to do. So let's say you're a salesperson. You're expected to hit 100% of target. But if you consistently got 110%, 105%, then that is an achievement. Or let's say you're a PA and you came up with an initiative to start a social club which raised morale and helped retention, staff retention. That, again, is an achievement.
And if you're entering the job market for the first time, you really want to think about some of the extracurricular things you've done and look at ways of showing your achievement. So you may have been a shop assistant, but that shows that you have teamwork, it shows that you have ability to work to certain time management skills, and shows you have good customer service.
What is a good idea to have at the top of the actual resume is perhaps an overall one-line mission statement, for want of a better word, that encapsulates who you are as a person and what it is that you would bring to the table for this employer. The important thing to remember there is that you do need to make sure that that mission statement as such actually ties in with the job at hand.
It is really important on your resume to fill any gaps that you have. It's essential that you can show a chronological order of what you've been doing during your lifetime, and so that people don't have question marks about, you know, where you were or what you were doing during that time.
And there is no stigma attached to saying that you were made redundant. This is common, and unfortunately most people have had one. Maternity leave is also another key one. You know, make sure that you do identify that you were on maternity leave, or if simple things, you went traveling, you took a gap year, all those sort of things aren't going to cast any shadow on your resume.
List your jobs in order of the most recent one first. But let's say you took 4 years out to have a child, just put the dates and state that fact. You know, took 4 years out to have a child, or go travelling, or to finish a postgraduate degree or a qualification. Just so there's no mysteries.
In things such as hobbies and interests, put them at the back end of the resume. You can choose to put them in or not, I think, depending on where your level of experience is within the working field. They are interesting reference points when you're at interview. So remember, if you do put them in, you need to be aware that you might be questioned about those.
References, in my view, should not be put on the CV. They should be gathered by the recruiter or the employer during the interview.
Reasons for leaving employment, I think, are best left at and during an interview. The reason for that is that you will be able to give a lot more information behind those reasons rather than a bullet point. And once again, your CV, your resume is there to obtain you an interview and not secure you the offer of employment. So less is more on a resume.
Forget photos, fancy fonts, colours. Just keep it simple, concise, easy to read, and try to keep it to 2 to 3 pages.